go backwards. I just rammed my front weight into a wall.
So we're gonna do just ram into a wall.
Yeah. Because I have 3 pedals now, of course the clutch, and I've also set the clutch to backwards, because I find the brake pedal way too heavy. So I'm constantly just slamming shit into the wall, or just going the wrong way, just fucking up the pedals.
My track lights tripped out. I'm not gonna be able to see anything at the junctions. Let's quickly sort that out. Pardon me. Right. Track IR. That's what we were doing. Right, it doesn't like all the lights. That we've established. See why is it tripping here? Bar was bent. Typical. Oh god, it's done that thing again. What an absolute nightmare. Sorry guys, slight bit of delay here. Fortunately. Right. Make sure we can see what we're doing now. Last thing I need to do is crash into anybody. Okay, that doesn't look good. Hey, we'll improvise. track IR stopped working. Better quickly adjust some buttons. TDR. Pardon me. Right, TDR. TDR look right. TDR look left. Right, sorted. Gives me a fighting chance. There we go. So I figure out what's going on with this track IR. Might be time just to buy a new one. Oh, missed him a green light. Oh, it's so weird. Not having track IR. Just finding quiet on pro mods. Almost feels like single player. Less idiots anyway. Just obviously not including myself. Low air pressure. tighter than I thought. Okay. They get some fuel. Oh fuck, that was a perfect opportunity. I'll get it on the way back. Literally noticed the fuel station as I pass it. Typical. Oh yeah.
That's always fun.
I know. Jesus, that must have been tarred by our local council back here. That was wildly rough. Oh, without a doubt. I've literally not seen anybody on this drive. I'm starting to wonder if I open single player. Great with people there, man. Oh, right, am I going in here? Is this...
Right in the middle of the road, and then the bale.
I've got a funny feeling this is... Nah, this isn't my turn. That's what I've done. What I'm up at. I thought it was this one, but it's the next one. There's no one about. Can't see any cars. Excuse us, anybody that's watching. You gotta admit, the turrets are quite close together. Oh, this is where I really missed the track IR. Okay. I was just. Oh well, that's the job we're taking. Didn't even notice that I clicked on it, but hey ho, don't even know where we're going. It's the joys of it, is it not?
That's CTS too, as far as I remember it.
Exactly. So I'm taking a job, we're going for it. I meant to click on the one that said caviar, I think, but I've clicked on something else, so we're going somewhere else. So hey, how more realistic can you get? In the office to get your job sheet and you get handed another one.
Yep. Just doing some baling, and then all of a sudden it starts raining.
Oh, that's even better.
God.
Always fun.
If it's grass, you can at least keep going for a little bit, but nope,
Yeah.
it's straw.
I am sure. I never came that way, so. Where was that petrol station? Must have came this way last time. Ah, I see it. We're good.
Alright.
Right, Sim. How we doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Are we jumping your chat earlier on?
All right. Oh, I never noticed my chat.
I was like, your best chat mod is here.
I've just connected it now. While I'm up it. Totally forgot to connect chat after whatchamacallit, after I set everything up.
Aye.
So one thing I always forget to do, but then again, I've been streaming for about a week, so surely you can forgive me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're live on Facebook as well, which is good.
Sweet, sweet. What about YouTube? Do you know? Oh,
I'll
rough bit
check
of
now.
road. That is definitely tarred by my local council. Jesus. Right, I cannot miss this fuel station. I done it last time. How do I get in it?
YouTube isn't coming up live.
Aye, but I don't know if that's been verified yet. I just made my account last night.
Ah, right, okay.
So I think it takes 12 to 24 hours or something.
Right.
It's said. So yeah. I'm not 100% sure if that's live or whatever. I'm gonna have to wait and double check the YouTube channel itself. Does YouTube channel have all the videos on it though?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I uploaded all the, well, not all of them, but I uploaded a lot of what was on my Twitch last night.
Yeah.
Right, how's best to get out of here? I'm just gonna lead me enough.
I think you've got all your VODs on there that you've uploaded.
Not all of them. I need to check. I got tired last night and then was waiting for them to upload.
Yeah, no, there's some there, which is good.
Yeah. I'll get the rest.
Not gonna say much by stream, but did you get my message this morning?
Yeah, I did. Have I took the wrong turn? I think I've taken a secret road, or it's just gonna lead me back onto the main road. We'll see. Yeah, I did, but I don't. Yeah, I'll need to speak to you about that later. It's not really.
Yeah, no worries.
pressing issue. I do not know what road I'm on here, guys. I'm on a secret road that I thought was leading me onto the.
It might do.
I don't think it does.
Oh. You are on a secret road as well. Okay. This is new.
I know. I just pulled out the petrol station. It was this road. It looked like it just linked onto the main road, and now I'm heading God knows where. But I'm curious, so we'll go for a run.
Yeah, why not? You're on there.
Ah, my timing's not that bad. My load will maybe late. Pedal to the metal and all that. Right, okay, so as far as I believe, it comes to an absolute dead end. That was nice. Just a bush. With absolute zero space to turn. Cheers, buddy. That game really screwed me there.
So you got to reverse the whole way up the track.
No, not if I can do this properly. This is
Yeah, you'll find Restream will be a lot more easier for you to use as well.
yeah. Right.
You not get the railway tracks.
No, but I think it's done me this in pitch black.
Ah.
So I don't really see. I can't see what's what I've got on either side of me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could reverse up here, but I'm no really keen on doing that all day because that was I came quite far way down.
Yeah. Oh, what an idiot! What an idiot of a game, because it's got all these like hitboxes where they shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't even spin it round and like stick the arse end on the grass.
I know.
Oh well. You know what that means, doesn't it?
Reverse the whole way up it.
The game's led me down a dud. Why?
That's pro mods for you.
I know, but it just seemed like such a likely road. It looked like it was about to split on to begin with, then it got further and further away, and I was like, then curiosity got the better of me, and you know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. It also also made you reverse about 3 miles.
Oh man.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Right.
Curiosity killed the cat. You never heard that one?
Ah, that's definitely.
I haven't heard both of them.
Right. Right, I'm gonna hack. It's literally not gonna let me spin around. I thought it was gonna let me spin onto that grass there, but like you say, it's got blocks on either side, so there's literally no way it's gonna allow me to do it. Oh well.
Absolutely, who would have hung?
Oh, it's just one of these things, isn't it? Unfortunately, can't be helped. I took a chance. I took a gamble and it failed. It's really hard to do my left arm.
I think Zach's on holiday today as well.
Yeah, Zach said he was away.
Oh, well deserved break anyway.
Oh, I definitely. Nah, it'll be good. But it sounds of it, like you said, they've not had it easy. So yeah, no, it's well deserved for all of them. I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Right, I'm looking for a spot that I can spin this, but it still looks like I'm on that barrier block either side.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Honestly, I can't believe I've done this.
Right, I'm gonna try and book a stream on TMP for one of our events. I will try and book. What day is it today? Monday?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
It is.
Let's see if anyone's got anything booked on this
Oh, wrong one.
Wednesday. I can go to Wednesday convoy.
That'll be the 90-degree corner I took.
Right, I'll see what events are coming up this week. So event, and then I can schedule at least one to go to.
Surely
There's one 25th of August.
Surely I can get it spun here. Come on, please don't block me. Please don't block me. Oh, thank God for that. We're away again. Jesus.
Hey.
Oh. Let's just not do any more hidden roads. It's clearly there. Well, it's clearly hidden for a reason, but you'd have thought they'd have their chevrons on it.
Aye. So there's actually a partners convoy on the 26th.
Watch this as a guy's just seen me coming down this road. Watch him go down there and think, oh, right, a secret road.
Yeah, you'll have to reverse the whole way up it.
Oh, if I see him going for it, I'll jump on the CB and tell him about it, mate. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna book. Wait, hold on. I am the 26th. Oh, bastard, man. Can't book 26th because Ronan's doing a convoy then.
Aye, we don't. It doesn't have to be our weekly. You do know that you can just pick a date and then put it into our Discord. Can all drivers attend for a TMP stream? We're trying to get as many PBG trucks as possible. Do you get me?
That'll be sick. Yeah, that'll be sick. Yeah, I can do that.
Create our own comp. I mean, it doesn't have to be our weekly Wednesday that are for our public. We'll just do like a company convoy and then try and TMP stream it. Do you get me?
Yeah.
If you're struggling for dates to fall on our dates, then just create a date and then we'll also announce it to the public so that it's like an extension on our Wednesdays. Do you get me?
Yeah, we've got obviously between the four of our streamers, we all choose dates to stream and then schedule it in the scheduler. So
Yeah.
I've got to keep looking at that to make sure our date's free. So
Oh.
I can find a date that's free.
Yeah.
Or if I'm attending an event, I can say to the driver as well, I'm going to this event and this date. Do you guys want to come along with me?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you book the TMP stream for that, then just simply same thing. You just set it up, and then phone's ringing. So it's someone from Manchester. I don't know anyone in Manchester.
Zach.
Lost.
I don't know anyone in Manchester anyway. Both know someone in Manchester.
Aye, but he's in Wales at the moment, so that doesn't count. His parents kicked him out the car, he's stuck in Manchester, it's a payphone.
I guess he's got to go and pick him up.
Hi, you're closest.
No.
And the Ryan, he's closest.
Ryan can drive all the way. Ryan, can you do us a favour? Yeah, you need to come rescue Zach. I need to speak to Ryan actually. He's not been online for a while. I need to speak to him about my set of courses, see if he can help me out with it, and also to get a wee catch up of him, see how he's doing.
Yeah, I just think RL's caught him. Like I said, he knows himself. RL's more important, and that's what we promote. I genuinely think that he's just been tied up. Maybe a new bit of stuff for. Do you know what I mean? Just like I say, he's just moved back down to Manchester. There's a lot of catching up to do with old friends. He's been up here for a number of years. You know what I mean? So he stayed in Scotland for a while. It's totally understandable. Like I said to him when I spoke to him last in chat. You mean, like I say, the one thing PBG promotes is that RL comes first. So just, you know what I mean, if you're busy, whatever, just give us a holler. If you need anything, let me know. Do you know what I mean? We'll get in touch with him privately, but he's, you know what I mean, Snapchat, whatnot. But he's, as far as I'm aware, he's out just having a bit of a laugh, because apparently the last few years has been a bit of hell for him.
A bit of a hindrance.
From what I can tell, so he's just out blowing the cobwebs off. Do you know what I mean? All he had when he was up here was gaming. You see, he's went back to a lot more opportunities. But that's not to say winter's gonna kick in and blah blah blah. And you know what I mean, he might not be back, but it's, if he's back, he's back. If he's not, I'm glad he's out enjoying himself. It's the main thing. Because I didn't like seeing him. It was good having him online, excellent, but I didn't like seeing him in and being unhappy. So if that means you lose him from the community and he's happy, then well, I would much rather that.
Yeah, I don't know. We all have our things here, and we all do certain things. And if someone's not online, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
As
it.
long as we like hear back and just say, "Yo, you alright?" You're like, yeah. Just get on with life.
Yeah. No, like I say, I've spoke to him on Snapchat. Yeah, he knows I had a lot going on myself with my accident, being made disabled, then getting jumped by 15 lads randomly, put in hospital, bleeding on the brain, blah blah. I've been in touch since. He asked how I've been getting on, but to be perfectly honest, with the brain trauma and that, and having the brain hemorrhage and that now, I couldn't tell you what conversations I've had. I know I've been in touch with him, but I mean, my mind's like, it was so hazy there for like a month or two. It's wild, just with the swelling in my brain. It's wild.
Managed to get any further with that, or is it just going to be a case of, well, that's the way it's gonna be?
They actually rattled on my door last night at like 11 o'clock at night. 3 officers.
Who?
The police.
Why?
With like a heap of screens, like a heap of photo images for me to look through to identify people. I was like, really? It's like, honestly, at this time of night? I was like, okay, cheers, lads. Like, can we come in? I was like, the parents are in their bed. I was like, you can come into the porch bit here. I was like, you mean there's a main bright light? There's more than sufficient light in here. You mean I'm not going to invite you into the house? You know what I mean? I was like, take you into the kitchen or through the living room. The bloody dogs, the Frenchies will be all over you. I mean, the yelping, and then the bairns will wake up. And I was like, nah, you can just come into the porch.
Yeah.
And so they got me to identify like 5-6 sheets of basically just what looked like spotty little teenagers with a couple of people looking really angry. But the beauty of it is, like, I've got flashes. I'll admit that I know a couple of them, because they made themselves known and they really stood out at the time. Now, the majority of them, I said to the police, I don't know. I couldn't like tell you for sure. Do you know what I mean? Just simply because they're so young. To be honest, it sounds so silly, but they all look the same.
They all do.
But there was a few things, telltale signs I'd noticed when I was looking through the sheets of papers. There was you just looking at it, you could see in 12 faces, you could see that 10 of them. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for the viewers, Svenny. You could tell that you could tell the ones that were guilty and the ones that weren't, because the ones that weren't guilty were just kind of sitting there like, why am I here? Getting their photos taken. And then you could tell the ones that looked raging. And then there was ones that, like, you're at telltale sign when you're lying, you look up to your left. And there was one of them was just staring up at the left, absolutely raging with a main scar on his face. And I was just like, so little things, just telltale things when looking at the sheets. I could only identify a few, but out of every sheet, one of them looked familiar, or at least one of them to me looked guilty. So I had to pick one off each sheet, because apparently one off each sheet was guilty. That's what he told me. So it's kind of a bit of a mindfuck as well, because like you're thinking to yourself, right, well, one of these guys was doing. You know what I mean? So you're looking at like 4 or 5 sheets of 12, right? But and you've just been told that on every one of these sheets, one of these guys is you know what I mean, the ones that nearly killed you. So that alone is making you look at the sheet thinking, which one of you nearly killed me? So
Yeah.
it kind of hinders your thought process on who you can identify. So I feel the police shouldn't have told me that there's a guilty one on each of those sheets until after they'd got me to look at them.
Yeah.
Because that alone really, being autistic and that really just kind of set my mind off in a different direction. So it's kind of hard for me to focus. And cheers, Vanny, much appreciated. So it was kind of hard for me to focus on what I could identify and what I couldn't. But I did recognise one, or at least one from every sheet looked familiar, or I could tell straight away. I was like, every single one of the other ones looked too comfortable to be sat there and, you know what I mean, getting suspected of serious assault. Do you know what I mean? You don't just sit there like, there was one boy was like sitting there just kind of like, I like really looked confused, like he was waiting for a bus. I was like, he's not guilty. Like you can tell he's just like doesn't even know. Like they've been like, no, you need to look this way, and he's been like looked around and been like so dazzled. You know what I mean? Just like I was just like, well, he's not guilty. You can tell a guilty person miles away. And every sheet there was someone stood there. There was someone there absolutely raging that they'd been pulled in there, and they had something to hide clearly.
Oh yeah.
And I asked, and obviously I done it, and then I went back upstairs, and my missus, they asked my missus to go down, and I obviously do the exact same thing. But as you do, they would they'd shuffle about the papers, right? They're not gonna leave them in the same order. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Um, they're not going to leave them in the same order, because then I can say I picked 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and do you know what I mean? And I can tell Ashley when I come up and tell her to go downstairs. So they obviously shuffled them all up, and now it was just because I know this because I simply asked. So I said, sheet 1, I goes, did you pick the one in the middle? And she was like, sheet 1, no, the one I picked the one. And I was like, then it dawned on me, I was like, aye, but they will have shuffled them, they wouldn't. And she was like, ah, right enough. And I was like, ah, it's okay. I goes, anyway, do you know what I mean? She goes, but I seen, do you know what I mean, on each sheet, I seen someone that, you know what I mean, I at one point, they were trying to tell us that there was one guilty party on each sheet, and Ashley picked out 2 from one sheet. She was like, they were there. And they were like, are you sure? It's either one or the other. And they were like, they were there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's the most I've heard about it. Is like I say, they rattled on the door last night and asked us to identify faces, which is extremely hard given the time period between it happening when we gave them a list of names that they could have lifted and took photos of and had them in custody for a couple hours and then released them, and then came to us and done a photo examination like a day or two after, where it was all still fresh in our memory. Or
Yeah.
or they could come 2-3 weeks later when I've sustained a seizure, been rushed back into ARI with bleeding on the brain, been readmitted to the ICU, and do you know what I mean? And my head's a bit all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, then the police turned up like a week or 2 later after I've been mailing them for ages to come collect the evidence off me. I've had random people's mums and things mailing me on Facebook I've never heard from before. I've had emails I've never, you know what I mean, from people like Facebook mails from people that I've ever. Cheers, Benny, much appreciated, buddy. Um, like mails from these young lads. Like the funny thing was, I genuinely didn't know who they were. I know who one of them was. I won't say their name on stream.
I know who all of them are. But,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah, so I mean, I know you know the group, but I don't know who was there that night.
Yeah.
So I know who the main one is and who they all hang about with and whose birthday party it was and who instigated it all. Now he's obviously not willing to take the rap, so he's dobbed in his mates, and they've got 5 of them charged. But they said that they're not willing to let any of them get away with this at all. They're trying to get every single one of them. So they're really pushing for. Oops, I went through parking there. They're really pushing for a charge on all of them. So unfortunately, it's just a case of waiting. They've told us it'll be 6 to 8 months. It'll be this, that, and the next thing. I'll probably never ever get my brand new trainers and jeans and everything back that the police seized off me for evidence. I was like, it's my blood. I'm like, look, it's pouring from my head. I was like, do you know what I mean? I was like, I got attacked. I was like, my hands, there's not even a mark on my hands. I was like, I clearly haven't, and like, you mean, what do you think? Someone's trainer started bleeding. I was like, why are you taking my clothes? I was like, I can wash these. Like, I've just bought these. Like, literally just bought them that Friday afternoon to go out that night. And I was like, honestly, so I've been robbed. I've had my phone robbed, everything robbed off me. I've been beaten into my life, and then the police come round and rob me as well. I was like, are you having a laugh? I was like, use want my stuff as well. I goes, well, go upstairs and I'll go and get my jewellery and that. You want my other watch and that as well? Do you know what I mean? I was like, do you want the keys to the car? I was like, oh, honestly, you boys are insane. And they were just like, it's protocol. And I was like, and I phoned up and I was like, right, done a little bit of research, and I phoned up in 101 and I was like, can you let me know if there's a shortage of lithamol in the north east of Scotland within any of the forensics laboratories for the police Scotland? And they were like, not that as far as I'm aware. Like, I was a bit of an odd question. This is, well, the thing is, I had my stuff, I was beaten and robbed, and I had my stuff taken from me. As far as I'm aware, the evidence packets are sitting in Elgin Station. Now, I'm requesting that they get sent immediately to Aberdeen for the forensics labs to do their swabs on them with the lithamol, because obviously I'm sure, or one of your police to do a swab, put it into a concealed case and send it to Aberdeen lab. I'm sure one of your police officers are capable of working a cotton bud. I says, I was like, so you can swab the blood that's on my clothes and then send it away to the lab and then prove that it's just mine, considering that you've even admitted, oh, wrong one, you've even admitted that it was my blood. Do you know what I mean? Because you could clearly see that I was wiping it from my face and my nose and everything, wiping it on my jeans and that, because my t-shirt ripped off from me. And they could see that it was dripping and it was landing. There was only a couple of drips on my trainer, so they can say, well, it's clearly coming from your nose and everything. And it says, but unfortunately we're going to have to take them for evidence. I goes, but why, when you've just admitted you can see the blood dripping from my nose onto my trainer, so there's clearly my blood, so what more evidence do you need than the police witnessing the blood going on to the clothing? And they were like, oh, it's protocol to take it. I was like, well, how about you break protocol and go and get the bloody ink swabbed and get my clothing, at least get my trainers and my jeans and everything back. I mean, that's like 150, 170 quid I spent in JD Sports that do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That yous have robbed off me as well. And then I had 20, 30 quid cash taken out of my wallet, my chain stolen. Do you know what I mean? My brand new 21S Ultra Samsung. Do you know what I mean? I had my phone stolen. Ashley's engagement ring was stolen. I mean, they basically just robbed us of everything they could. Money out of Ashley's wallet, Ashley's purse, sorry. They took our purse. Just, I mean, it was a robbery. That was the whole point. That's why we got jumped. And then the police had or cheek, like, because we had our kebabs and pizzas and everything all tied up in the bag. And they were like, oh, we'll sit it in the back of your car, our car, and keep it warm for you. Took our statements and then drove off with our food. Never brought it back. That was like 30, 40 bucks worth of thingies. That was like the same price of one of the t-shirts that Ashley had bought in JD that day. Do you know what I mean? So where's our, I mean, I said to the officers, I was like, where's the, like, I mean, you can note evidence, know every single piece of, I mean, you can claim you need every single piece of evidence, every single item we've lost, but yet yous have taken clothing off us, and there's also about 30, 40 quid's worth of food, which was our possessions, that we'd paid for with our cash, that you took off us, that wasn't evidence, that you decided to just take away. Whether you decided to throw our possessions in the bin, or because it was tied neatly in the bag from the kebab shop and you thought this is uncontaminated, oh well, here's a snack for the evening since we're on night shift. I don't know, but do you know what I mean? Even the police robbed us that night. I honestly could. It's disgusting. It blew my mind. I was like, aye, fair enough. And then when I brought it up, they kept changing the subject, and I was like, so you're not going to tell me about our food then? They're like, oh, we're not actually sure about any food or that. And I was like, so the officer's there? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I was like, aye, okay. I mean,
I've got I've booked a stream for the 3rd of September, which is next weekend, so next Friday. It's a Horizon Logistics convoy.
That's a nice big one. That's fine. So,
Yeah, it's not,
so that gives you a week to put out announcements to say you'll be doing a TMP stream, where it's going to be a company meet, but we're going to obviously attend Horizon Logistics convoy, and I'm going to be streaming it through TMP. So as many drivers to attend would be appreciated. So, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Just to try and make it we'll make it a company meet, and then we'll go along to Ryzen's convoy, as opposed to advertising it as Ryzen has a convoy, come along if you want to. Do you get me?
yeah.
Because then people look at it and be like, oh, I'll see if I'm free, or do you know what I mean? Whereas people might make more of an effort to help up the numbers of our trucks, because that's kind of what we want to do. Especially for one of your streams, we want to turn up a lot of trucks. We've got 50 odd drivers. We need to get a good haul of trucks out one night. You know what I mean? The whatchamacallit, Ryzen's a big one. If we turn up with even half of our drivers, that's going to be impressive for both stream and image.
Leave all that to me. I'll get it all sorted.
Yep, yeah, if you've got a week to play with that, so even if it means mailing each driver individually and just saying to them, like, how do you feel about putting into your calendar Friday such and such, and attending, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, what I'm doing actually right now is I'm actually booking certain events throughout. So I'm mainly focusing for the big ones, because that'll help both TMP and us, because then we can have more trucks to go, and then it'll be a lot more to, like, you know, film.
Yeah.
As opposed to a small one.
Yep.
But that's not to say that I wouldn't book a TMP stream for a small VTC and help them out as well.
Oh, of course. Why not? That's the whole point. Because the beauty of it is, every TMP stream of yours you do, we'll try and get as you need to start letting us know when you're doing them. You're letting us know like moments before you go live. You need to be using the community to your advantage and advertising you have a stream booked, so the drivers that want to be on a TMP stream can come along, and do you know what I mean, we can get more trucks on the stream, because as it stands, you're turning up one truck, two truck, do you know what I mean? To places. It's not doing, and then you're mix and matching your colours, and you don't know what to do, what to turn up in. If we're turning up 10 strong, do you know what I mean? Your COO and official streamer, you just change your tag, run our colours. Do you get me? You know what I mean?
Hold on. Simulation, right? Rising Logistics Convoy, Simulation Gaming TTV, Pro Mods, Truckers MP, and hashtag Truckers MP. So that'll be the stream title for when I do it.
Yeah, so I'll try. What I'll do now is, I'm back on MP. This is my second stream today. I'm actually enjoying it. The funny thing is, I've seen 3 trucks. I think I'm probably gonna just do pro mods when I come on to MP.
This one is a pro mod convoy, luckily enough.
Yeah, so I think I'll just do, when I come on to MP for a drive with the lads and that, I think I'll just do pro mods drives, or the odd one now and again on base. I don't think I'm gonna focus too much on Sim 1 or 2, because every time I go in there, I just get ram raided and taken out, and it just gives me it just hurts me so much. I end up getting banned. Do you know what I mean? I drove like perfectly for so long, and I end up getting banned because one of my device tripped out. Do you know what I mean? And it just ruined my chances of getting on staff. So
I'm going to put in VTC announcements this event link for Truckers MP for Rising, and I'll explain that I'll be streaming it as well. So I'll do that just now on the Discord server, and then I'll throw out announcements over social media.
Yeah, I definitely be as well.
So VTC announcements. Right, here we go. Hey guys. So at PBG driver and at convoy.
Find up one off the lines. Let's make my spotters still working. It's weird how this game just stops your spotters working sometimes, and you have to like reactivate them.
Yeah, I think you'll find, Tom, see, because the staff team has changed quite a bit since your last one, you'll find it is a lot more managed now.
Oh, I hope so,
And you'll
because
have people like beeping at you and flashing you a lot more often as well.
I hope it's more managed, because it didn't seem appear to be managed at all. Now you've got to remember, from September 2020, when I opened up my account, not long after I was made disabled, and I decided to start PC gaming, got heavy into Euro Truck. I done around about 700 hours in the time, like in a couple of months. Now, people that have been playing the game since it came out only have 200-300 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, that in itself, statistically speaking, I should have had about 4 bans by now. Now, the
Yeah.
fact that when I approached them and says, look, I'm a couple of months shy of applying for game mod, but statistically speaking, with my record and the fact that the way I drive and the respect I show to your rules and that, is there any way of speaking to someone a bit higher up? And I know it's not fair to do one thing for one guy and not for another person, but statistically speaking, if you can prove that you're completely different than the other guy, then why not? So is there a chance of me speaking to someone higher up to maybe allowing an early application, or even just put me on like a trainee? I take my application and just hold it so as soon as I become I've got a year on my account, that you could maybe introduce me as a trainee. Do you mean just something?
Yeah.
Do you mean I just not bend the rules, but just basically try and invoke something in a grey area? That's all I was asking for, if it was a possibility, or to speak to someone to see if it was a possibility. But cause all I could get to was a game mod, they were just kind of like, no, you have to go through what I went through, and I was like, yeah, no, I appreciate that, buddy, but you mean it's just statistically speaking, like my hours, time, dedication to driving. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I play this game, like, cause I'm disabled, I've got nothing else to do. I wake up in the morning, play this game from like 7, 8 in the morning to like 2 in the morning. Like, I play more than 12, 14, 16. I played silly amount of hours every single day. And I was like, surely that in itself must stand for something. And he goes, it doesn't matter, it's 12 months, that's the rules. So obviously I was speaking to a game mod that could only spit the rule book at me. So that's why I asked if I could maybe speak to someone a bit higher. And they wouldn't give me a name. They wouldn't give me, so I just, and at that point I just carried on thinking, right, I'll just have to wait till September. So I carried on driving well. Remember, I was behaving myself, wasn't getting involved in any carry on, because I was so close to becoming game mod. And then, because I've got this tray of plugs and all that here that I use for all my devices, I didn't know the BIOS of my computer kept my power going to the tray of plugs, even when it's turned off, because the settings haven't been changed. And obviously, the beauty of you being on stream is you were the one that actually, being a computer technician qualified, running your own computer shop, you were the one that actually brung it to light to me and came round and checked it and says your tray of plugs is dead. That's why it's killing all your devices, and you keep getting that yellow triangle from Windows saying USB device has been rejected or something.
Not recognised.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tried it essentially.
Exactly. Now that's what was tabbing me out of Euro Truck. Now I had the worst internet in the world, because I lived in the middle of nowhere. So I couldn't stream or record or do anything unless I wanted to play. So I couldn't play and stream and record, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, my internet just couldn't cope with that. So I had no way of screen recording to show that my screen had tabbed out. Now I explained all this to the game mod and said, look, but I can show photos, I can even have the computer technician get in touch with you and let you know that he did come and speak to me and advise me that I need to buy a new tray of plugs and change the BIOS on my computer so it's not powering them all the time and cooking them even when my computer's off. Either that or turn your computer off at the wall when you're done for the night. Now that's fair and well, but he admitted with me and he agreed with me and he was like, no, I get you, it makes sense and all that, blah blah. And I showed him, I was like, I've got a second tray of plugs. I was like, I've got, I mean, you can see the old one still lying here if you want to still see it. Do you know what I mean? I says that's about the only evidence I've got. It says obviously the technician that dealt with it, that helped me find the problem, And
Yeah.
then obviously the old tray of plugs that's lying here, cooked and fried. I said, I'll send you it. You can even try and use it if you want. Do you mean? And he was like, I'm not just gonna unban you. I was like, well, I'm struggling for evidence because only evidence you want is screen recordings. So you want a screen recording of my thing going boom onto the Windows screen. Now I can't provide that to you
Not
because.
everyone records for like every second of the day.
But even if I
You
could,
know?
but I do now. When I have
Yeah.
when I have the internet, go and look at my Twitch page, and that it's been open what, a week, and look at all the videos on it. I stream
Yeah.
everything I do. Now, if I'd been in a position to do that at the time, I would have been doing that at the time. But my
Mhm.
internet didn't allow me to do it. So what? I'm being penalised for having bad internet, and for the fact I'm disabled and I have numerous devices, and I didn't know. I haven't been gaming long enough to know about BIOSes and turning off, I mean, making sure I don't cook my tray of plugs and all that. And then I went to the guy above him in that Diesel, the game moderator manager, and explained everything to him. And he had the cheek to turn around and agree with me and be like, yeah, no, I totally see where you're coming from. I was like, right, so obviously you've got on my record there, like, I've been banned for reckless driving because what had happened was, because it had tabbed out, right, and I didn't know what it was, it had luckily, like, tripped itself out and, like, kind of like as I went for my mouse, because my setup used to be set up the other way around. When I went for my mouse, like I must have caught one of the cables, and like I tabbed back into the game and everything was working again. So like when you see the video evidence, like I tab out, very, 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 very gently veer over the road like that, and then quickly fucking pull it back. So I was like fighting for the mouse to the point that I got it back on the game. I got myself back on my side of the road before my truck fully went on the other side of the road, and all I caused to the boy to do that was coming the other way was veer slightly onto the verge and then clip his wing mirror off a signpost. Right? And it was a near miss. I didn't hit him, do you know what I mean? And I explained it, and then I was like, so obviously both of them agreed that that wasn't reckless driving. You can tell how by how very gently I veered over, that obviously there was something that went wrong, and given the explanation of the device, it shows that you were obviously, your truck was at idle. It wasn't being driven, because obviously there wasn't any sharp frantic maneuvers. And then I was like, right, okay. So I was like, so what? So where do we stand with the fact there being a reckless on my record and that? And he was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, that's why we're in the appeal process. It's like to appeal it. It's to come to a decision, a conclusion to where both parties are happy. And he goes, no, if you appeal, you're meaning that we're wrong and that we have to lift your ban. And I'm not just going to lift your ban because you say so. And I was like, do you understand the term appeal? Or have you ever been in a courtroom? Or do you know anything about the law? And he was just looking like, basically saying he wasn't going to entertain such a conversation with me. Rules are rules. And he just spat the TMP rulebook at me. And I was like, I don't think these guys actually know anything about the way of the world. And then I went and looked, and the guy was 14. Doesn't even hold a driver's license. I used to be a HGV mechanic, for God's sake. I used to be a heavy plant operator. I was a driver. I drove these things for a living.
The thing is, right, the guy who recorded you in that time you got banned almost rammed something himself.
Well, that's the beauty of it. That's what I said to him. I goes, so I'm assuming with me and the person that reported me are both banned. And he was like, what do you mean? I goes, well, obviously when mine done it, I was driving along like I am now. It tabbed out. It veered across the road slightly. I managed to fight for my mouse, got it back. Didn't even hit him. He then chose to open his chat. Now he chose to do this. I didn't. This was an accident that was thrown upon me that I tried my best to take evasive action, not to ram people off the road, in which I didn't really. I just made them swerve. Again, apologetic. I've got an explanation, not an excuse. But if you watch the video that he submitted right to the end, you can then see him hit the tight 90-degree corner that I've just came out of, and he purposely opens his chat to go wreck ban. It totally ignores what he's doing with his truck and literally rams another truck into the grass. I was like, so I'm guessing we're both banned. And that's when his attitude changed, and he was just like, because he hadn't watched the full clip. He'd only watched the point where I swerved, and he was like, oh yeah, crossed the line, you're at fault. Do you know what I mean? And then put a ban on me. So then when I went to Diesel and says, you know what I mean, blah blah, and what was going on, and he was like, I don't really know what you want me to do about it. I goes, well, for a start, have you watched the full clip? And then he didn't reply for ages. And then he came back to me, he's like, look, I can't just unban you because I said so. And I also can't give you details on other people's situations. I was just like, right. But you kind of can when it's given my situation. Like, I'm involved in the situation, I'm getting a ban for it when he was clearly recklessly driving on purpose. Where me and you and Dominique have all vocally came to a conclusion that I clearly wasn't, and the explanation I've given it isn't out of this world. Do you know what I mean? I don't have the proof they want, but I have some proof. But they were just, I don't know, and they just started being so rude to me that I was just like, you know what? I haven't played TMP for 3 or 4 months because of that, because of the way I was treated. Nothing to do with the game. I was laggy. It was annoying. It was, do you know what I mean? Wasn't well moderated. But yeah, mainly because of the way the staff treated me. Being autistic, being disabled, and them speaking so rudely to me being trying to be so polite. I've still got all the messages, and there was just no need for it. There was, you know what I mean, I was trying. The funny thing was, not once, and if you read through all the messages, not once did I ask to be unbanned, and they very, very rudely said to me, "Luke, I can't just unban you because you asked." And I very politely said to him, I goes, if you read back our chat, mate, I says, I've not once have I asked to be unbanned. I wasn't trying to put words in their mouth, but I was trying to nudge them towards a decision that was fair, which was, because we'd came to the conclusion that I clearly wasn't driving recklessly, maybe drop it to something a bit minor. I don't know if blocking's minor, or just drop it to something a bit less, and maybe not give me the massive ban that they gave me, and give me a couple of days, considering how heart set I was on the game, and it being disabled, it is all I had to do, and it's all I've been doing since September for 14 hours straight, and they've just kind of taken it away from me. And they're like, oh, you've got single player, and I was like, but I've never really played single player. I says, it's multi, I mean, it's a TMP that I enjoyed. Do you know what I mean? The interaction, I build the CB radios for a reason. I said, can't use that in multiplayer, do you know what I mean? On single player and that, and they were just like, well, a ban's a ban, I can't just lift a ban because you've asked. I was like, again, not once have I asked. I was kind of hoping to nudge you towards a decision that you'd use your own grey matter. I says, but clearly that's not going to work. I says, never mind, and I can't mind what I said, but I just called it a day there with the appeal process and just ignored them after that. And I couldn't believe how rude they were, and also how uncaring and unknowledgeable they were to someone with autism. They didn't seem to think that that was a factor, or it was an issue, or it came into the equation at all. They were saying that, like, they were almost saying that that doesn't matter when it comes to a computer game. But I'm sorry, it's not. You don't just turn your autism on and off. It's something that you struggle to understand. Like, I struggle to understand the fact that we were all agreeing, like, yeah, okay, you weren't driving recklessly, and I'm like, right, okay, sweet, so I've got a reckless ban. Why have I got a reckless ban? And then they're like, oh, because that's what we gave you. I was like, yeah, but you've just said that I wasn't driving recklessly, and you agreed that my game tabbed out, so why are we at this kind of middle cross point? Do you know what I mean? Like, how are we going to deal with it? Like, and then they just got really, really arsey and was like, I'm not just going to unban you because you asked. I says, well, if you actually read our messages, mate, not once have I actually asked to be unbanned. I was kind of hoping you'd use a bit of grey matter and maybe come to a decision yourself, considering you're the game moderator manager, and it's an appeal process, not a unban me process. I was like, that's if you know what the word appeal means at all. And then I just ended it there. I can't even mind. I gave him a heap of spiel that obviously made him feel, I don't know what it made him feel, but he wasn't impressed, and he didn't get back to me. And my bans are still stuck, and they're still there as reckless and everything, and they clearly don't care. So I've just, like I say, I took 3-4 months off. I'm back now, but it's only due to the fact that you're on the staff team and due to respect to you, that I've came back with the same driving adequate that I had before. I'm trying to try. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be another one of these idiots. I'm gonna carry on driving how I was driving before. And if cause I was driving so perfectly and I got that tab out issue, if I get something like that again, then I will literally uninstall TMP. I do not care.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm just on Car X at the minute, just practicing for I'm trying to learn how to do 360s. I
360.
keep crashing at walls, 360 drifts into the bends.
Alright.
I can do reverse entries now.
Not bad. Tell you, Pro Mods is dead at the moment. I've not seen any. I've seen a handful of trucks.
Yeah.
Almost,
It gets
almost
about
makes
900 players
yeah.
around about 6 PM.
Yeah, it almost makes me want to go on to Sim 1 and get ram raided by the kamikaze drivers for a bit. I'm joking.
Probably would happen though.
It would 100% happen, there's no doubt about it. I've been on here and I've seen a handful of players. I've had an absolute terrific run. It's been, it's actually been good being back out in the truck. Even with the limited use of my left arm and not being able to use my shifter and that.
Use
But
sequential shifting.
yeah, with my left joystick. I was doing it with my right joysticks, but it left me steering a lot with my left arm, which was getting really sore. So I thought about it. Now I've got the double joystick set up. I was like, why not just set up the sequential on the left? It's the lighter joystick because I bought the Thrustmaster for a reason. Because, like I say, it's a lighter joystick. It like when you feel the force feedback on the stick itself, it's far lighter than my Logitech. So that's why I've put it on the left.
Yeah.
So shifting up and down, it's like effortless. I can just use the cup that you're meant to actually lay your fist on. I just use the cup to like just get a hold of that and do you know what I mean?
Therefore.
Do it that way. And I've got neutral, I've got reverse, I've got my horn on the trigger for the thingy. Neutral on a button. It makes so much more sense. I'm doing everything on my right hand side. It gives me my right arm's free for everything else, handbrake and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've definitely set up much better this way around. For not having any real use of my left arm. I wish I could use this cool big shifter thing that I've made, but I just can't trying to shift and so much movement.
Difficult.
My shoulder. My issue is my shoulder cuff. I can move I can move from my elbow down, but it's like my shoulder cuff. So I can't start shifting gears like this. Do you know what I mean? Because it would just absolutely kill me.
Aye.
So, and I've tried it. Trust me, I tried it, and it was like, I don't know. I got about 3 miles down the road, and I was like, I have to turn that off.
You can only do but try.
Yeah, well, that was it. Well, I thought I was feeling I felt a bit better. But don't get me wrong, I'd taken my painkillers and that, so obviously a lot of the pain was masked. But at the same time, yeah, I was very stupidly keen for giving it another go, and I tried it, and I barely got out of put it this way, I got a load right from wherever I was, and yeah, I got a load from wherever I was, and I never even made it out of the town that I'd picked up the load from before I had to change it back to sequential. I literally too many gear shifts leaving the.
I think this car will do for a good drift build.
I need to. I've not actually been down into that new bit of the thingy yet at all.
Right?
I think I should probably head down there before I pick up another job. Because I've not, like I say, I've not actually checked out the whole that new DLC about, like literally none of it. Yeah, like none of it. Right, so we'll start at the start. Barcelona.
Let's see, design, dyno stand. There we go.
What's the difference between them? The crow. There's not much difference between the crone and the arch ruler or whatever it is.
There's not too much of a difference, is there?
It almost looks like the Sparks ruler or whatever one looks slightly longer.
Yeah.
I'll be okay at that one. Right.
Torque. Transmission, yes. Brake torque. Sweet. I can go and try and drift this.
Go and try and drift it. You mean
Try being the key word.
as say, go and break it. You mean?
Yeah.
Off numerous barriers.
It's one of the brand new Supras.
Oh well, that's dead.
Fuck. Jeez, this thing just... It goes sideways, but it's got too much kick to it because it's such a short wheelbase. Try.
Is my CB still working? Ah, it still works. Sweet.
I think I'll stick to my chaser.
You do love a chaser, right enough.
Chaser's a nice car, though. Like, really nice cars, right, Scott?
Hey, buddy.
What, Adamson. Pardon me. I just think chasers look very sleek when they're all like decked out and that.
Like I say, I'm more of a Skyline man myself.
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
more of an RB swapped S13 type of person.
Well, each to their own. That's the beauty of it.
RB swap test 13. Oof.
Job market.
Do you see that? Yeah, you seen that car on Facebook, Tom? Honda Civic. The guy's put an RB26 into.
No?
He put an RB26 in the back of a Honda Civic Type R EP3.
Alright, okay.
That would be a monster.
Hi. You're an age joking.
That white rear wheel drive EP3?
Yeah, the one on eBay.
Yeah.
It's said to have about 700 horsepower or something.
Jesus. Fair play.
Obviously, it's not road legal, but
Yeah.
If it was, it would be the main cause of the crash.
oh yeah. Imagine that still being front wheel drive with that much power.
Well, it all depends on the driver, to be honest. Whether or not it would be an issue on the road.
Yeah. Is your Facebook chat working as well on Restream?
I don't know. System server will be updated in 1 minute. Does that kick you off the server? Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's Alan said some stuff in your thingy chat as well. There's a guy called Chris. What? There's a guy called Chris in your Facebook chat as well. He's like, first time joining fellow PUBG logistics VTC driver. Don't let these talks get to you. Oh, I think he's talking about when you were talking about.
Oh, right,
what
yeah,
happened to you.
yeah. No. Thanks, buddy. I much appreciate. Yeah, nah. No, you just, yeah, you have to just live and let live. There's no point in harboring grudges. You'll waste more time seeking revenge than you ever will just moving on with your life. That's one thing I've learned.
Yeah. The thing is, it'll come back to them. Don't worry.
Oh, that's the beauty of it. It'll bite them in the arse. I mean,
There's gonna be time done. 100%.
yeah, aye, that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Right, we'll look for a save button because they're about to chuck me off the server because they're about to update it.
Oh, they're about to update promote server.
Yeah, it just popped up in the bottom left screen there. So, like I say, just save the game.
I think they're going to start the next update. I think it's going to be weather sync as well, so it'll be raining for when it'll be raining as well as for everyone else as well.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I heard about that. That would be good. Like,
The
right,
new in-house, the new in-house developer we got is absolutely amazing, by the way.
brilliant.
CJ Max. No, it's not CJ Max. Sorry, I think it's Sean. Absolutely amazing developer, full-time developer for TMP now. He's done an absolutely amazing job
Right.
on the modifying the servers each day.
Nice.
So they're more stable now. They can handle when you're in busy places. Obviously, it still will lag as always, but
no,
there's
that's not the side of things that was frustrating me. What was frustrating me was the amount of idiots that were allowed to run havoc, and if you were even slightly remotely around Germany or around the Cali or the Duisburg or Dover area, then any of your complaints were pointless. It's basically they could pick and choose where the rules applied. It's like I had one mod get back to me when I says like Cali Duisburg road's like really bad. Have you got mods going down it? And his reply was, well, if you're on the CD road, what do you expect? I was like, well, expect it to be managed if it's becoming this bad. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, if you, I can't mind what he said. He says, I wouldn't expect any report put in regarding the CD road to be taken seriously. By the way, mate, he says, it's too much to manage or something. He basically just said that TMP didn't have it under control and that the idiots were running them up. And he pretty much
They
admitted it.
seemed to when I got banned the first time, like.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to end the stream here. Well, I'll sort out my bitties and bobs, and then I'll pop back on soon, boys.